Dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it? You already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up, bye up. And in Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that I am kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. Gracias. I know I couldn't do it without you. So, there's a new talk of the town, right? There's videos being made right now as we speak. And Dubs is in the mix, right? Now, you know that's the homie, man. But over here, man, we keep it uncut. We keep it no added preservatives. We keep it real. So I'm just going to keep it real right here and say I rock with Dubs to the fullest, man, right or wrong. But in this case, he's right. So he did a video the other day talking about, are blacks scared of Mexicans in prison? Okay. I actually am the one that sent Dubs that clipping of that video that I found on TikTok of that black dude talking about the brothers being scared of the essays of the Mexicans, the Latinos, the raza in prison. And I remember watching that video even before I sent it to Dubs and laughing and thinking, man, wow, this guy's just throwing his own people up under the bus like a motherfucker. Now, everybody has their own reality. What he's seen doing 20 years in prison, what that man's seen in federal prison is what that man's seen. That's how he feels. Okay? But still, right or wrong, man, you ride with your peoples. You never throw your peoples under the bus. If he felt that type of way, yeah, I understand truth is truth, right? And reality is reality. But a perception is crazy. People will take that narrative and twist it and flip it and do many different things with it, right? So when I shot that to Dubs, I said, hey, this is right up your alley, bro. I know you did a lot of time with brothers on the yard and you have a lot of respect for black guys on the yard. You know, for as many people that try to say, hey, Dubs, he's a racist or he's this and that, they got their fools mixed up. Every day, myself, Dubs, him more so than me, we game with the brother, man, from out of state, from Detroit, Michigan, man, cool-ass brother. Dubs is in constant correspondence with Chinaman from Hoover and just so many different black dudes that he still functions with and did time with. That's the truth. Truth of the matter is, man, that man respects all men that respect him. And I respect that, right? So when I shot that to him, I knew that he was going to do a video, a righteous, real video, and he did. And before people even watched the video, when they seen the title, they were quick to jump on his bumper. No diddy. They were quick to jump on his bumper. Oh, Dubs is this and that, and he don't know. Listen, man, that man said that man was wrong. That he's met a lot of brothers that are about the business on the yard. I, myself, have met a lot of brothers that are about the business on the yard. Politics are different. They're always going to be different. There's no sugarcoating that. There's no switching that up. It just is the fucking way it is. Some people ain't going to like it. Some people will. Some people won't admit it. Some people will. There's cowards from everywhere. There's hitters from everywhere. There's some black dudes that'll tear your motherfucking head off. There's some fucking Mexican dudes that'll tear your head off. Now, as far as the politics go, we all know that Mexicans, north and south, have to move as one machine. Máquina. Just the way it is. If you don't, it's going to be bad repercussions for you not participating. So that means every norteño, every southsider that are on a prison yard, they will participate in the shenanigans against any opposition. Whether it's against each other, the blacks, the whites, the natives, Usos, others. It doesn't matter, man. Your people better be ready to go at all times and better go fast. And that's just how it is. Now, as far as the brothers, because they're fragmented into so many different groups, right? They're not obligated to all go unless they choose to go. Okay? That's the truth of the matter. Sometimes they will, sometimes they don't. It just depends on how they feel. That doesn't mean they're punks or they're suckers or they're cowards. Or if they don't want to go home, there's not a man on the prison yard, black or brown or white, that doesn't want to go home. But sometimes your expectations of your people is just a little bit more than others. As a raza, north or south, Mexicans, bulldogs, anybody, you are expected. The expectations are high. Okay? They're just that way. We don't dictate the program. The program is dictated by the powers that may be. That's the way it is for the raza. You either go or they go on you. With the blacks, it's a little bit different, right? They're not all the same organization or group. So this group might not agree with this group. They might say, the Crips, you guys are the ones that have beef with the Southerners. The Bloods, you guys are the ones that have beef with the Southerners. So why are we going to sacrifice our time, our program, whatever, to go with you because you're black. It ain't a race thing. It ain't a black and brown thing, right? Now, the Southsiders do make it a black and brown thing, and I'll explain to you why. Because they're not going to sit there and pick, oh, he's a Crip or he's a Blood or he's a non-affiliate. They just say, move on anything black moving. Is that a little bit racial? Is that a little bit prejudiced? A little bit. But there's no way for them to decipher who is who and what is what. So for safety and security reasons, touch anything black moving. That's how they get down. Okay, with the brothers, there are going to be those that will ride and get off and tear your whole shit up. And will pick up weaponry. Yes, they will. When that guy said, oh man, the brothers are scared of Mexicans, he's foolish. So my video today, now that I've said all that, is are Mexicans scared of blacks? Since everybody's doing these videos, are blacks scared of Mexicans? I think I could pretty much tell you, no, they are not scared of Mexicans, right? Is everybody, every man scared of getting stabbed? Well, maybe not scared is the word, but no one wants to get stabbed on a yard. No one wants to get meta-flighted out. No one wants to get a scrape on a yard, but it's going to happen. See, a lot of these guys that we're talking about on these prison yards, blacks and browns, are not just your average just dude that got caught up for stealing a car. These guys are in the game, especially at the high levels, 180s, level 4 yards, 3 yards, 270s. These guys are in the mix. They're gang members. They participate in the street shenanigans, the game. So motherfuckers know the game. Motherfuckers know what it entails. They know when they go to prison, you better knuckle up and buckle up. Believe me, it's not just one race dominating everyone. That's not the way it goes. Like I said, there's different standards here. People hold different people accountable. Okay, it's just the way it is. Does it make any one group tougher than the next? Absolutely not. You know, I've met black dudes, I've seen them put Mexican dudes on their pockets. I've seen Southsiders get fucked up on the yard with some hands, right? And I've seen Southsiders tear the blacks up on the yard with some knives. Okay, now that leads me to the old saying, well, why won't Mexicans give blacks heads up fades? Which I know Dubs did a video on that years ago, man. Because they're not obligated to or allowed to. When you're at that level on a yard like that, now maybe on the 2 yards and the 1 yards, they might fight. It might be all fist play. It might be all, I don't even want to say fist play with Diddy in the area, but it might be all that, right? But when you hit level 4s and 3 yards, just time to strap up. There's no time for talking anymore. You're trying to body something. Okay? You're trying to body the eye. Just is what it is. Every group has hitters. Every group has cowards. Now, are Mexicans scared of blacks? You know, I know that this is going to be a little bit controversial because people are going to say, oh man, gun, wow. Listen, some are. Some ain't. Okay? Some of these guys have a mentality, north and south. We're talking about Mexicans and paisas, right? That they feel the brothers, man. And this is, look at, everybody knows. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm real here, right? Brothers got hands. I've never met a brother that didn't. Personally. That's just me. That motherfuckers hit hard. I've been hit a gang of times by brothers. And when I woke up, I said, damn, right? They hit hard, man. A lot of them got skills. They can fight. Very athletic. Chopped up, on swole. They're born with the 8-pack. It just is what it is. No, De La Hoya, they don't got to etch that shit. They're born with that shit, right? So a lot of brothers, and I'm not being a biased or a prejudiced, or I'm just telling it like it is from what my perspective. If you don't like it, you can turn the dial and go find Bigfoot, right? But to be totally honest with you, I've seen black dudes with major chunkums, major hands, right? So the Mexicans, I've met Mexicans with major chunkums. Don't get it twisted, right? The Latino boxers are for real, right? Ask De La Hoya, ask Chavez, ask Canelo, right? So let's keep it real here. Motherfuckers got hands from everywhere, but the blacks are known ever since my YA days to have major hands. It's the truth, right? And dudes from Fresno. Them fools can fight. And they're Mexican. So, are they intimidated or scared of blacks? No. But at the same time, people are intimidated by the unknown. See, especially Southerners. When it comes to Southsiders and blacks, there's been a lot of guerra, a lot of war, a lot of spilt blood on them streets, a lot of bumping of the heads, a lot of not getting along. But there also has been, and even nowadays more so than ever, a lot of getting along, a lot of working together, a lot of collabing. I just seen a video yesterday where they're saying, hey, save Lefty Gunplay, keep him cool because he's doing a lot of collaborations with blacks. He's bringing black and brown together, whatever, right? At the end of the day, Yes, man, that dude is the face of whatever he's the face of at this point, and he does need to be looked after. Especially, he needs to be saved from himself more so than anyone else, is what I believe. But back to the topic, right? When it comes to Mexicans, Mexicans are very conservative and they fear the unknown. They're not scared of it, but they're just inquisitive about it, right? And when it comes to the blacks, man, you hear these stories. You hear these stories about how, brothers will move on people, debo people, try to punk people, push their weight around. And let's be honest with you, it does happen a lot. Okay? And usually it happens within their own people. If they find someone weak, instead of kicking them up out the car, see, a Mexican's idealisms is this, especially when you're in the gang. If the dude is not cut from the cloth, if he is not worthy, get rid of him. Whether it's knife play, he gets beat up, he can't walk this yard, you're not cut for this, see you later, buddy. You didn't make the cut, right? Whereas the blacks, they'll keep them around and debo on them. Okay, that's just the way they get down. I've seen it happen. Not all of them, but I've seen them say, why kick them out? Why get rid of them when we can utilize this shit? PD's going to find out, right? The utilization is real. That's a difference. That's a different in culture. It's a different in thinking. And I'm not saying all blacks are like that or all Mexicans are like that, because there are a lot of Mexicans that politic on their own and do them dirty. Happens, right? But the topic is, are Mexicans scared of blacks? I've never seen it. They're very leery though. Now, when it comes to Norteños, the northern side of it, blacks and browns have always got along. Not every hood. We used to go at it with the Crips. We still go at it with the Crips in my neighborhood, right? Where I was from. I can't say my neighborhood anymore because then they get all mad and shit. But we went at it with the Merced Gangster Crips for years, right? I don't ever remember a head up fade. I don't ever remember motherfuckers jumping out on each other and chunking them. I remember nothing but knife play and gun play on both sides, right? And I can't speak on much more than that. But I'm just going to say, but in other areas like the Bay Area, there's the black and brown movement was big. In other places like Sacramento, man, a lot of the Norteños are cool with the sangres there, and they're cool with the blacks. And, the Northerners have always got this, they've always been perceived by the South as being mayateros or people that kick it with blacks, when I don't see nothing wrong with it. I see two beautiful cultures coming together, right? I see a lot of black and brown collaboration down south as well nowadays. Maybe not so in the past. See, there was always that culture clash, but times have changed. Nowadays, a lot of black dudes are with Mexicans, and there's a lot of Mexicans with black chicks, right? It's just what it is. Nowadays, everyone got a mixed kid in their house. Yes, indeed, everyone's on welfare. It just is what it is, right? So, but down south, there was always that beef. See, up north, there really wasn't. There really wasn't, right? So you would rarely see Northerners versus blacks. And Northerners didn't fear blacks because they felt like they were on the same level with them because they kicked it with them. Okay? Now, as far as Southerners fearing blacks, they do not fear blacks. No Mexican fears any other race. What it is with the Southerners is they feel that they're superior to everybody, even the Mexicans up north. It's the truth. It's a superiority. How do you say it? Superiority complex. And it's not because they think they're better than, it's because they're educated that way and indoctrinated that way and told, man, this is our yard. See, one thing I know about a Southsider is this, man. Okay? If one Southsider gets to a yard, he thinks it's his. This is our yard now. We own this shit. We are the dominant group. That's the truth. Ask Dubs, ask any other Sureño, any Southsider. That's how they feel. That's what they're indoctrinated. That's what they're told, right? So everyone is their opposition. Whites, blacks, Northerners, Bulldogs, everyone is their opposition, because if you ain't part of what they got going on, then you're not with them. You might be in some circumstances an ally to some effect, or they might be cool with you or decent like the Paisas. But at the end of the day, it's about them first and foremost, and they feel they have that control, right? Now with the blacks, they're not really tripping off the control of the yard. They're not really even trying to fucking cause no problems any other race or any other group. They're just trying to do their time and get the fuck on down the road, right? There are political dudes that play them games, but most blacks, man, just want to do their time. Okay? Now, Mexicans are not going to fear blacks because they've been bred and educated and taught over the years and told, especially guys from down south. Guys from up north, like I said, never feared the blacks because they felt that they were cool and they were on the same level. Okay? Mexicans have a lot of pride. Blacks have a lot of pride. We ain't even talk about white pride, brother, right? We'll leave them over there for a minute. But everybody on that yard has love for their people first and foremost, and nobody fears anyone. And if they do, they ain't going to talk about it. Okay? Blacks are not scared of Mexicans. Mexicans are not scared of blacks. But everyone on that yard doesn't want to get stabbed. Now, I seen in the video that black dude was talking about that Dubs reacted to. And remember, Dubs reacted to it righteously and gave everyone their props, right? And I seen Hoodie from the Hood did his video. And he said that, you know, Dubs and American Cholos should probably be the last ones reacting to videos like that. And I understand where he's coming from. But again, Dubs is not the one that said that. That was another brother that said that. If anything, the brother should be upset with that dude for throwing his own people under the bus. Dubs basically cleaned it up and said, hey, bro, it ain't like that. You know, but the truth is the truth. When you have 100 Southerners on a yard or 100 Northerners on the yard, every one of them is obligated to function to the highest degree, to defend the household. If that yard dictates that they got to have weaponry on them, then they have to have weaponry on them. Because if they don't, then they're going to get whacked. See, with the brothers, there's no mandate like that. They're not told because they have no set. I mean, they're organized in each clique, in each group, but they're not organized as one. So there's not one head dude saying, hey, all blacks got to function and got to carry a knife to the yard and got to be ready to use it at all times. Now, I know a lot of you say to yourself, well, damn, that's fucked up to have your program dictated by another man. Well, that's why we have a president of the United States. They dictate our program. See, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a hierarchy. There's always going to be a medal. There's always going to be a shot caller. There's always going to be a, whatever name you want to put on it. There's going to be an OG homie from your hood that you listen to and you take advice from. There's all that in the game, all the way from the bottom to the top. There's going to be structure. There's going to be someone who basically tells you the way it's going to be for your people. See, with the blacks, you don't necessarily have that. Within their own groups, yes. Does that make them punks or scary? No. A little disorganized compared to other groups? No, not disorganized. They just function differently. And I think that difference is what people always bring up. You know, I hear it all the time. Oh, the blacks are unorganized, or they let this person pass, or they don't check paperwork. Look it, man. Their program is their program. Okay? The Mexicans' program is their program. Does that mean motherfuckers are scared of each other? No, not on that prison yard. You know, I've fought with more blacks than anyone in my life. And the cool part about it is, I get along with more blacks than anyone in my life. Did I have a hatred instilled in me because a motherfucker fired on me or because we got off with each other? No, absolutely not. That's an isolated incident. See, you got to understand, I grew up around brothers, man. I grew up as parents that were DJs. Earth, Wind, and Fire was played in my house all the time. I can't live my life without listening to Midnight Star every fucking day. That's just the way I grew up. I got a lot of respect and a lot of love for some brothers, right? So I know what they're about. So you'll never hear me on any racial shit talk about they're less than. And you'll definitely never hear me say about my people are less than, North or South, because to me it's all the fucking same. They're brown, right? So I'm not going to sit here and downplay what they got going on, but I'm going to say there are a lot of the guys from down south that feel superior to everybody, not just blacks. That's what they're taught. So there is no fear instilled in them. On a personal level, they might be a little spooked. Damn, that's a big old brother right there. Damn, he got 25-inch arms, right? They might be spooked like that, but they're going to equalize it with a piece. And there's a lot of the brothers, man, that are making videos right now that, of course, are defending their people like they should and saying, hell nah, ain't no brother scared of Mexicans. And I don't think they are scared of Mexicans. They're scared of the knife that Mexicans are holding, just like a Mexican would be scared of a knife that a black is holding. It doesn't matter about the color of the man who's holding it. It's that motherfucking glint of that steel that got everybody shook, right? At the end of the day, we shouldn't even be having these conversations. Who's scared of who on the yard? It's a prison yard. Everybody breathes. Everyone bleeds. Everyone gets whacked. Most of the time, anyways, it's not a black or brown issue or a white and black issue. It's a black and black, a brown and brown, and a white on white. Usually it's your own people removing you. Okay? We all know the SA's got a knife. The SA's got a knife. They do got knives. That's a fact, right? But that don't mean the brothers ain't willing to pick it up. When that black dude said on that video, we are scared, extremely scared, I said, this dude's full of shit. I ain't never met a black extremely scared of nothing in my life. Okay? Especially not one on a level 4 prison yard. Or in the, I've never been to the feds. I don't know how they rock, but I know them DC blacks and all them brothers right there. I hear a lot of stories about them. They ain't fucking around. Okay? Mexicans are always going to be on a different level. Not a higher level or a lower level, but a different level within their own people and what they're obligated to do. And that's it. Mexicans are not scared of blacks. Blacks are not scared of Mexicans. The CDC is scared of everyone. That's why they keep you motherfuckers on lockdown. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people, black and brown, and the woods, because I fuck with the white people too. And let me tell you right now, ain't no one ever talking about the white people, because them motherfuckers got knives, brother. They got, bang, bang.